Breaking news. Is the world headed for a geopolitical shift? Nicolas Maduro has made a risky move. Facing intense pressure and sanctions, he has handed over control of Venezuela's vast oil reserves to the BRICS nations. This group includes Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. The decision has sent shockwaves through the global energy market. Maduro's gamble is a risky one. He's betting that the BRICS nations, particularly China and Russia, will provide an economic lifeline to Venezuela. In return, these emerging powers gain access to the world's largest proven oil reserves, boosting their own geopolitical influence. The United States, which has long considered Venezuela within its sphere of influence, has condemned the decision. The potential for increased tensions between the West and the BRICS nations is high. The world watches with bated breath to see what unfolds in this new chapter of global power dynamics. Venezuela's economy is in shambles. Hyperinflation has ravaged the nation, making basic goods unaffordable for many. The country's oil production, once its economic engine, has plummeted due to mismanagement and sanctions. Maduro's decision to cede control to the BRICS nations is a desperate attempt to revive the economy. The potential benefits for Venezuela are significant. The BRICS nations, particularly China, have the capital and technology to invest in Venezuela's oil industry. This could lead to increased production and much-needed revenue for the cash-strapped government. Circumventing US sanctions would open up new markets for Venezuelan oil, further boosting the economy. Critics argue that Maduro is essentially selling off Venezuela's most valuable asset for short-term gain. The success of this gamble hinges on the commitment of the BRICS nations to revive the Venezuelan economy. Maduro's move is about more than just oil. It represents a seismic shift in geopolitical alliances. The BRICS nations, which have long sought to challenge the established Western-dominated world order, see this as an opportunity to expand their influence. For Venezuela, it's a way to break free from the perceived dominance of the United States. This alliance has been years in the making. Frustrated by Western hypocrisy, the BRICS nations have been forging closer ties. They've established their own development bank and are increasingly coordinating their foreign policies. Venezuela's oil is a potent symbol of this burgeoning alliance. The established global order, with the United States at its helm, is facing a serious challenge. The world is witnessing the shaping of a multipolar world order. China's role in this geopolitical drama is paramount. As the world's second-largest economy and a voracious consumer of energy, China has a vested interest in securing access to Venezuela's oil. The country has already invested heavily in Venezuela, providing billions in loans and infrastructure projects. For China, this is a strategic masterstroke. Securing a long-term oil supply from Venezuela reduces its reliance on Middle Eastern energy sources. Furthermore, it gives China a strategic foothold in the Americas, a region traditionally considered the United States' backyard. China's growing influence in Venezuela has not gone unnoticed in Washington. The United States views China's involvement with suspicion, fearing it will use its influence to extract concessions. The stakes are high for both China and the United States. The struggle for dominance between these two superpowers will have profound implications for Venezuela and the world. While China's role is crucial, Russia and India are also key players in this geopolitical chess game. Russia, a longtime ally of Venezuela, has provided military support and investment in the country's oil sector. For Russia, this is an opportunity to reassert its influence on the world stage. India, the world's third-largest oil importer, is motivated by energy security. Venezuela's vast reserves offer an attractive alternative to India's dependence on Middle Eastern oil. The involvement of Russia and India adds further complexity to the situation. Each nation has its own interests and priorities, and managing these competing agendas will be crucial to the long-term success of the alliance. Maduro's decision to hand over control of Venezuela's oil to the BRICS nations is a direct challenge to US hegemony. For decades, the United States has considered Latin America its backyard, wielding considerable influence over the region's political and economic affairs. This move undermines that dominance, signaling a shift in the balance of power. The United States has responded to this challenge with a mix of condemnation and sanctions. However, its options are limited. Direct military intervention is unlikely, given the potential for escalation. This situation exposes the limits of US power in a multipolar world. The United States can no longer dictate terms to other nations, particularly those with the economic and military clout of the BRICS countries. The world is witnessing a recalibration of power. This new reality demands a more nuanced and collaborative approach to foreign policy. The situation in Venezuela has also sparked debate in religious circles. Some view these events through the lens of prophecy, seeing them as signs of a world on the brink of a major transformation. Certain biblical passages, often focusing on themes of upheaval and shifting powers, are cited as aligning with the current global landscape. Others caution against overly literal interpretations of prophecy, emphasizing the importance of focusing on justice, compassion, and peace. Regardless of one's stance on prophecy, the situation in Venezuela raises profound questions about the nature of power and the role of faith in times of crisis. The events unfolding in Venezuela are a microcosm of a broader global trend, the decline of Western dominance and the rise of new centers of power. The BRICS nations, with their growing economies and assertive foreign policies, are challenging the established order. This power shift is creating a more multipolar world, one where no single nation or bloc can dictate terms. This new reality presents both challenges and opportunities. It raises the potential for conflict as nations compete for influence and resources. The situation in Venezuela highlights the need for a new framework for international relations, one that recognizes the legitimacy of multiple centers of power. The future of Venezuela and the global order it is shaping hangs in the balance. The success or failure of Maduro's gamble will have far-reaching consequences. If the BRICS nations can revive Venezuela's economy, it could embolden other nations seeking to chart their own course. However, if the gamble backfires, it could serve as a cautionary tale. The outcome will depend on the commitment of the BRICS nations and the resilience of the Venezuelan people. This is a time of great uncertainty, but also of great opportunity. The world stands at a crossroads, and the decisions made today will determine the course of events for generations to come. The world is witnessing a historic transformation. Nicolas Maduro's decision to hand over control of Venezuela's oil to the BRICS nations is a watershed moment. It is a stark illustration of the shifting balance of power and the emergence of new alliances. The ramifications of this decision will reverberate for years to come. It has the potential to reshape the geopolitical landscape and upend the global energy market. This is a time of both peril and promise. The challenges are immense, but so are the opportunities. The future is yet to be written, and it is up to the current generation to shape it wisely.